Terror Tales. The haunting of Ravenwood Manor, when shadows consume the soul and blood, runs cold. Chapter 1. The Invitation. It was a dark and stormy night when John received an invitation in the mail. It was an invitation to the unveiling of the restored Ravenwood Manor. John had heard about the infamous mansion, known for its mysterious past and rumored hauntings. John had always been intrigued by the unknown and had been investigating paranormal activity for years. He couldn't resist the opportunity to explore Ravenwood Manor for himself. He accepted the invitation and made his way to the secluded mansion. As he approached the gates, he couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding. The mansion was shrouded in mist, and the trees loomed over him, casting dark shadows. John hesitated for a moment, but his curiosity won out in the end. He entered the gates and made his way towards the mansion. Chapter 2. The Tour. John was greeted at the door by a butler who led him into the grand foyer. The mansion was grand, with high ceilings and ornate decorations. The butler led him on a tour of the mansion, showing off the restored grand ballroom, the library filled with ancient tomes, and the bedrooms with four-poster beds and antique furniture. However, as they explored the mansion, John sensed that something was off. He felt a chill in the air that had nothing to do with the weather. The butler seemed unfazed, but John couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him, hiding in the shadows. As they made their way down to the basement, John's unease grew. The basement was dark, and the air was damp. They passed by rows of wine barrels, old tools, and an abandoned laboratory. It wasn't until they reached a locked door that John's curiosity got the best of him. He asked the butler about the room, but the butler simply shook his head and said that the owner had forbidden anyone from entering the room. Chapter 3. Nightfall. As night fell, John was escorted to his room. He lay down in the luxurious bed, but the chill he had earlier felt only grew more intense. John heard strange noises in the night, footsteps echoing through the halls, doors creaking open and shut. He tried to dismiss it as the sounds of the old mansion settling, but deep down, he knew better. John got up from the bed and decided to explore the mansion for himself. He made his way to the locked door in the basement. The door was locked, but he could hear muffled voices coming from inside. He assumed it was just the owner of the mansion, but curiosity got the best of him. John found a crowbar and forced open the door. Inside, he found a laboratory filled with strange machinery, jars filled with strange creatures, and a large tank filled with murky water. From the tank, John could see a shape moving under the water, something big and dark. As John approached the tank, he heard a voice whisper in his ear, "You shouldn't have come here." John turned around, but there was no one there. He felt a cold hand on his shoulder, and a chill ran down his spine. Chapter 4. The Hunt. John ran out of the room, but the mansion had changed. The grand ballroom was now dark and twisted, with strange, twisted hallways that led nowhere. The library was filled with strange, cursed books, and the bedroom had been transformed into a torture chamber. John realized that he had been trapped in Ravenwood Manor, and what he thought was curiosity would soon become his worst nightmare. The mansion was alive, and it wanted to consume him. As he ran through the corridors, he saw dark shadows moving in the walls. The shadows would reach out and grab at him, and he could feel them sapping his strength. He ran faster, but the dark tendrils of Ravenwood Manor caught up to him. John stumbled across an old chest, half buried in the ground. He opened it, and inside, he found an old book. The book was made of human skin, and the pages were written in blood. It was the journal of the original owner of the mansion, a mad scientist who had been experimenting with the forbidden arts. As John read through the pages, he learned about the true nature of Ravenwood Manor. The mansion was a gateway to the underworld, a place where the dark forces of the universe could enter our reality. The owner of the mansion had made a pact with the demons, sacrificing human lives in exchange for power. Chapter 5. The Final Battle. John knew that he had to stop Ravenwood Manor from unleashing the demons into our world. He gathered his strength and faced the dark shadows head-on. As John walked through the twisted corridors of the mansion, he encountered many horrors. He battled demonic creatures from beyond, dodged traps set by the mad scientist, and fought off the shadows that were trying to consume him. Finally, he reached the laboratory, where the gateway to the underworld was located. The gateway was a huge portal, swirling with dark energy. John knew that he had to destroy it before it was too late. He battled through the demons that guarded the portal, but the portal was too strong. The dark energy was overwhelming, and John could feel his strength slipping away. As he was about to give up, something inside him changed. A powerful energy coursed through his veins, and he could feel his willpower grow. He channeled his energy into one powerful blast and destroyed the portal. The demons were banished, and Ravenwood Manor crumbled around him. Chapter 6. The Aftermath. John emerged from the ruins of Ravenwood Manor, battered and bruised, but alive. The memories of his adventure still haunted him, but he knew that he had saved the world from a terrible fate. As he made his way back to civilization, he realized that he would never be the same again. The shadows had consumed his soul, and the blood had run cold in his veins. But he knew that he had faced his fears and emerged victorious. John looked back at the ruins of Ravenwood Manor and knew that he had truly faced the unknown. And he knew that he would never forget the haunting of Ravenwood Manor, where shadows consume the soul and blood runs cold.